Hello and welcome to AltTabMe.com's. Oh wait, no, this isn't the Wildstar.
Hello!
No,
La
okay.
la la.
Anyway, welcome to AltTabMe.com, the community that outlasts release dates, Wildstar podcast. Now, this is a special like point five, one half kind of podcast. This is our guild recruitment podcast. So if you didn't know, AltTabMe is a community. You can go there. You don't have to be a member. You can just participate, do whatever the fuck you want. Chill out with us, rant with us, talk about stuff, talk about games, check out the news, whatever you really want to talk about. There is a subsection of AltTabMe. It's called being a tab member. Now, tab is our chapters in different games. So we make guilds for multiple different games. For instance, we have a guild in Guild Wars 2, or we did have a guild in Guild Wars 2. Boo.
Still exists.
It still
It's
exists if you wanted
there.
to. But then, we make guilds in other games that we play. And if you are a tab member, meaning that you have to apply to get the privilege, that sounds so fucking wrong. You have to apply to be able to play with the community. Like if you're more than just a lurker, then you would sign up, apply, and become a member. And by becoming a member, you get to play in any chapter that tab is in. Now,
Yeah, that's also just we do a lot of games that we don't require membership for, like Cube World and Minecraft or
oh yeah,
Smite, where we just get together and do stuff. But in our organized guild type situations, we make you apply to be part of the guild and part of that whole system.
yeah, you should definitely if like so part of the. I guess we could talk about the application process just a little bit. The idea is that in order the to apply to our guild, because we're not just a guild, like we really are, we call ourselves at the beginning of this podcast every time the community that outlasts release dates. There's a reason for that. We have outlasted a lot of release dates. Let's see here. Should we go down the list? No, I mean you can probably figure it out. If I can just name off anything that has jiggly physics, and we've outlasted that. Name off anything that Funcom has made, and we've outlasted that. Uh, and then I mean, don't even get me started on EA because
Should we
podcast
bring up
over.
the
SimCity is
Diablo
awesome.
3 fiasco, the
Just
SimCity
just reference
fiasco?
any previous podcast since EA came out with.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Maxis. I hate EA.
I'm glad they split off.
I am happy they split off. Anyway, so before we totally derail, so the application process. So it's really simple, but it's in depth. So since we're a community first, like first and foremost, and I can't stress that more, we are a community first and foremost. If the games die, if one day, Bruce, me, John, Mike wake up and we go, we're no longer playing these games, that community will always be there for us. We want it there. It's a way for us to communicate. It's our version of Facebook. I guess if you wanted to like relate it to something.
Way better than Facebook.
Way better than Facebook. Yeah, we have achievements. We have an achievement system, like a working achievement system. Shout out Katie. What up? Anyway, just so you know, the application process is a little bit in depth. So to apply, we'd like you to come to our forums and participate. So I know there's a lot of hype around Wildstar right now, and we're hyped up about it. We're excited about it. But what's really important for us to see is that you're not just coming to our community because of Wildstar, and once Wildstar releases, you just die off from the community. What keeps our community going is participation, interaction, getting to know one another, and that's how we get to know one another in the games. So if you literally are just there for Wildstar and then Wildstar comes out and you don't participate in Mumble, you don't participate in events, you don't jump into other games with us, you don't, post on the forums, we're not going to know who you are. And we're going to end up being like, so this guy's not active, so, guild kick. Peace. I mean, it's really that simple. So if you go to the forums, go to alttabme.com, there should be a link that says play with the community. Click that link. Read that. It's a little bit long, but read that. It explains absolutely everything. It tells you what what special privileges you get by being a tab member are. It tells you what games we play. It tells you, what you can do as a tab member, what is required of you as a tab member, because we do have some requirements, and just the overall idea of how you should apply. We usually suggest that people look at other applications. We have them up there of what was a good application and what was a bad application. And you can see people that have gotten through and people that haven't. And then you can kind of base your time frame and your application off that. But we definitely, everything's open on the site. So you can go to that site. You can start talking to us right now. Since Wildstar's not coming out for anybody else, anybody here have a release date? Anybody?
Months, definitely.
So nobody here has a release date. There's no rush. Seriously, come out, check it out. If you like what you see and you feel like this is a good place that you would fit in, then apply. But don't just apply because you're like, oh man, these guys have some podcasts, or these guys have like, you know, pink poofs on their microphones or giant freaking beards. Apply because you actually feel like you fit in. We're a very mature community in terms of age. It's an 18+ guild and community. And also in terms of the way that we approach and regulate ourselves. We do have some rules and guidelines, but for the most part, we try to, you know, keep ourselves in line. And so you have to, part of that is being able to go, not for me. It's like the hardest thing for somebody to do. They're like, oh, that looks awesome, I'm going to apply, oh my God. And then they get in, they're like, I hate this, 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 I hate. And it's just like, dude, then why are you here?
we have had that happen quite a few times where people are just like, I don't fit here. And we try our best to make sure we're accommodating to as many different people as possible. But sometimes things don't click. And that's fine. You're more than welcome to hang out and join. Yeah, that, oh, God. I've just, a couple names come to mind already, and it's just like,
no, it's
anyways.
It's handle yo shit. That's been our motto for the longest time. Handle yo shit. But people, it gets like, it goes through iterations of what it actually means. It all comes back to being able to just understand yourself. Like, take actions for yourself. This is starting to sound really fucking preachy. Is this a guild fucking recruitment podcast, or is this a fucking preaching about rules? I hate this,
And
I hate
here's
this, I hate this.
the thing: you don't have to be part of the guild. You don't have to apply to be on the site and participate. In fact, we would rather have you participate before you go through any application process, because the whole reason we have the application set up the way we do is we want to get to know you, and we want you to get to know us before we go through that process. That's why on the denied ones, if you just go in and you haven't posted anything on the forums really, or very little, and we don't know anything about you from those, and you just put in one-liner answers to all the questions on the app, we're going to auto-deny it because we didn't know anything about you from that.
Exactly.
So,
It just, don't rush your application. I mean, we're more than happy to have you, you know, if this is the place where you want to be. But take the time to say hi on the forums, say hi in Mumble if you want to jump in and talk
We have
to
public
everybody.
channels. You can
Yes,
log
we have
in.
public channels for Mumble. So, I mean, there's almost always people playing some sort of game on there, and we'll come up and talk to you or whatever. Just don't, and then when you feel comfortable, like, you know, a few people, then throw in your application. I mean, because we like to get to know everybody before we decide, you know, if you're a good fit and we accept your application. So just take it slow and get to know some people.
Well, think of this. Everyone's had the experience of hopping into some random guild on some random server that you just started playing a game randomly, and you're just literally asking to join some random guild. Someone takes you in, and you're like, okay, I'm in a guild. You don't know any names in there. You don't know anyone. No one's helping play with you, and you're just literally there existing.
Yeah.
And we're trying to go way beyond anything of that sort. We want to get to know you guys. We're not picking up random people off the street and just saying, come join our site, come join our guild. Where, you know, we want to build a community. We want to get to know each other. I mean, we've grown friendships across the world practically now. I mean, we have people Australia, all across Europe. We have people all across the US and Canada. We have a couple people in one or two people in South America and Asia. And, I mean, we have people all over the world and all different time zones. So we're accommodating to just about any kind of person that you can imagine, other than douchebags.
We don't like the douchebags.
I don't like
no.
Do not like the douchebags.
No. No.
But we're building something. We've built something. We're not in the process of building. We're just expanding really now.
AltTabMe, destroying lives at work since 1992.
Exactly.
Yeah, some of us definitely do
Destroying
more
work productivity.
more tabbing than working.
I'll
at
have to
work.
post it one of these days, but I have screenshots of every iteration of what the website has gone through, even through name changes. I will have to post that up one day
Oh, that
because
should be pretty nice.
we literally are
That's cool.
probably about 10 to 12 years old at this point, just under different guises all throughout time. Same
Yeah.
premise, same ideas, and bam. So
Just
I'll have to find
expanding on
those.
it,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Just
The-
refining it.
looking at those images sometimes, just like,
I
what
remember
the
that
fuck?
old stuff, man.
Lots of
Early-
flash and animated
Yeah.
GIFs, man. Let me tell
Early
you.
2000s.
Yeah. GeoCities, what's up?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So if you didn't get that joke, you might not fit in.
You might not pass the age limit.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Exactly.
No, but you know what? It's like it's a lot of people don't realize that it's gamers, like, you know, old school gamers. I suppose I guess we fall into that category. Damn it, getting old.
Yep.
But you know, old school gamers, you know, we've gotten older, and you know, we still want to game together, and we still want that feeling of community over anything that we could ever get in a game. And I think a lot of times in games that we find now, specifically MMOs, is that you lose that sense of community. And so it's like, regardless of what game we're playing, because of AltTabMe, we have a community, and the game could like really fucking suck, but we have each other and we're playing together. I really hope it doesn't suck, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping it doesn't suck. But we play together, and regardless, we're gonna have a good time with one another. We'll make our own fun. We'll make our own events. Shit, go look up on YouTube 50 plus char diving board event.
Yes.
And that was one of the events we held in Guild Wars 2. We had a fucking blast doing it. I won't say anything about it. Just go look up 50 char diving board. Just that's all you
And
need.
it's something that we
Wasn't
just
that beta
decided
too?
and made up by ourselves. It had nothing to do with anything that was built into the game other than we use the game mechanics to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we do events all the time. But it's not just about, okay. We are like number one, the thing about us is we are all about fun. But we are also about progression. Wildstar has hardcore rating. Guess what, guys? We're going to be doing hardcore rating. Bruce, hold on, I need to point like there. Bruce is going to be running hardcore rating. And before I'm going to pass it off to him so he can talk about it. But I just want to say something because I feel like this is often misconstrued. Let me define what hardcore rating for AltTabMe is, because I think a lot of people don't really understand that. And so I think it would be helpful, even for some of the people that are in the community. I think just to hear this, they'll be like,
First
oh,
rule-
no, I totally get it. Don't talk about AltTabMe. So
No,
the
first
rule.
rule is you have to grow an epic beard.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Bruce.
I'm working on it. This is like four
Yeah, me too.
months.
You have to
right
have
here.
at least
Can't
some
keep
sort
it
of
up.
facial hair.
Yes.
That rules out females. Well,
No.
some females.
No, because if you buy one of those beard hats, that is also
Yes.
allowed.
That
If you
counts.
just stick,
They could just get their
yarn
finger
on
and do
your
the
face?
mustache thing. They
yes,
Oh,
that counts too.
Like, okay.
They
It doesn't
smell
have
your
to be
finger all
real
day.
human hair.
See, this is why we time our podcast normally, by the way. Now you're all seeing why we normally time our podcast, because this is what happens. And you have all asked for the wrath on this one, so just deal with it. Long ass. Man, I was looking at some of our old podcasts, and I was just like, how the fuck did I edit those all the time?
Some of them we were videotaping, recording for like 3.5 hours, 4 hours for some of them,
Yeah.
and prep work, and
Just kill me, dude. And we used to time code those.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
never
Sit
did.
there like, fuck. That's good. Yeah, bastard.
That was
Okay.
you
It's
guys.
bad
I
enough
never time coded.
doing a half-hour podcast, then time coding a half-hour podcast,
It's
and
not
then
fun.
watching the half-hour podcast again.
Oh, God.
I can't imagine doing a 2 and 3 hour one.
You could fit all that into one of our old Guild Wars podcasts.
Anyway, reeling it
Okay.
back. So for us, progression is a little bit different. A lot of people, when you hear, oh, you're going to do hardcore rating, you think elitism, you think best of the best, and you think if you're not like super geared or Superman or I don't care. Like if you're not whatever, if you're not the best of the best, then you can't join in. That's not how it works for us. Now, we like our players to have skill, to be geared, to be prepared, to understand the raid encounters, to read up, to do their research, that kind of shit. And I'll let Bruce get into like major detail on this. But the idea here is that as a whole, we want to progress. We're not in the market of doing it first. If we do it first, whoop de fucking do. Like, yay, good job for us. If we do, if we don't do it first, we don't care. What we do care about is that at one point or another, our guild will make it to the end of all content. Hands down. That's it. And we're gonna have fun doing it.
I kind of look at it as we're gonna do hardcore raiding, but we're not gonna be identified as a hardcore raiding guild like the stereotypical thing is that you see. We're gonna require people to put in time, but we're not gonna require people to be. This is your life in this game.
Exactly.
Go ahead,
All right.
Bruce.
All right. So even though these guys kind of sum it up already pretty well, and I'm kind of left with little scraps here to talk about, what I've put way more thought into how I want to handle this than you guys could ever imagine for a pre-game that we don't even know a launch date for. So taking back years and years of experience of raiding, leading raiding, PvP, leader, whatever, everything I've done in the past, I have way too many titles on my little board.
Just go
that
to
I can imagine.
LinkedIn/Guywin.
Yeah. No,
Video
please
game
don't.
resume.
But I've carried way more titles in guilds than I care to remember for a lot of them. But raid leading was always a lot of fun for me, and I'm really excited that I'm kind of taking the lead on this one because everyone else is like, I don't want to lead, I don't want to lead this raid, whatever. I don't know if I have the time for that. So fuck you guys. I'm taking this for you. So what I'm planning at the moment is I want to do like 2 days a week, 4-hour raiding sessions. I want to be on time, ready to go, people ready to go. You know, I want some form of, we're still discussing a potential loot system. You know, we've been talking about that for months. We still need to get our hands on things so we can really find out what's going on. But we want progression. We're not aiming for world first. We're not going for fastest kill. But we don't want to be sitting there banging our heads against the wall doing something pointless. It's really a fine line between sucking and being awesome.
It's true.
It is. It's true. And we're trying to get into the awesome without being ridiculously 100 hours a week, you know, cock slapping the keyboard to activate all abilities. Sorry, whenever I think Paladin, that's... Anyways, long joke, story ago.
Wow.
Anyways, that's a whole nother
Right.
podcast on that one. So what we're aiming for, we're trying to get... Sorry,
Hi, and welcome to AltTabMe.com, the community that outlasts release dates, slapping your
sorry.
cock
I'm
on the
gonna-
keyboard.
I'm going to do a little
Addition.
disclaimer. I'm a little under the weather, so disclaimer.
the
What I
fuck?
say, do not hold me to completely.
Don't hold him to these.
So
Okay.
what I want is 20 people, 40 people, because there's 20-man rating and 40-man rating. What I'm hoping for is to have 2 20-man groups going right off the bat. I would love it if we had small competition between 2 groups of rating. We'll see how well that actually works, and we'll change up groups if we need to, if progression's harder than we thought and we really want to push. But then after we get geared up through 20-man rating, I want to put the 2 20-mans together and start pushing content. This is, from what I know, how the rating content is going to be gated. Of course, things may change, but as of right now, that's my understanding. But again, what we need need people, first and foremost, but we need people that understand game concepts. We don't want people that we have to explain 500,000 times, you need to CC something. If we ask you to CC something, hopefully you understand what CC even fucking means.
Credit card?
2. But like but we're also not looking for people. We're also welcome to teaching people, but we're hoping we can teach people through the leveling process, get to know each other through the leveling process, through games outside of Wildstar at the moment. So we build up this core community that is gearing up for raiding. So we want to start now, get people playing together. Yes, community heart, we all love each other, but we also want people that are dedicated. I think that's the word I left out most, is dedication. We want people to be available for our weekly, twice a week rating. We don't want people, 10 people are good and then 30 people are MIA for whatever reason. We really want that core group. So I think I've tangented.
No, that's fine. And I just
Okay.
want to, and I know, and I have a great tangent to go off of that. How do hardcore players that you need for raids coexist with casual players? Now listen very closely before you go, they can't, whatever the fuck that thing I did before we were. Anyway, before you say they cannot, we have been doing this for a very long time. And guess what, people? They can. It's called understanding.
Ah.
Like, I don't know how else to fucking put it. It's called understanding your fellow human being, okay? It's respecting their gameplay style. It's understanding that some people are going to be more competitive than others. It's when you're competitive, not shoving it in people's faces and be like, yeah, I'm super cooler than you. Look at my Nintendo glove, You know,
Love
like,
the power glove.
this is not the wizard, okay? This is not the wizard. Not the wizard. The power glove doesn't make you better. I don't care what percent droppage it has. Okay? The hardcores should be helping in their free time the casuals because that's helpful to get them up to the level. Or if you don't want to do that, then don't do that. But I'm saying, like, that's something that you could do. As a hardcore, you could be helping someone. We want that kind of, hey, we're all part of the tab community. We want to have pride in tab. We want to have pride in that tag that is over our head that says tab. We want to, when other people see us running around, be like, that's tab. Either don't fuck with them in PvP, or, oh man, we should go roll those little bitches. But we make that perception. Nobody else does that. We're in control of that. And if we see ourselves, let's say you start getting rolled, people are like, oh man, those guys are fucking pussies. Well, then maybe you should help, the PvP people should fucking help the other players to get a little better with it. Or they should stop and help them out when they need help. That's what it is to be a community. MMOs these days, people are like, zoom, let's get to the end. And then they're like, I have nothing to do. Nah. So if you have nothing to do, take your fucking time and help your fucking fellow players. I don't like. It drives me crazy. Anyway,
But
no. The general idea here is that we can coexist. All right, guys.
Yes, no, hold on.
No, you can go ahead.
This is good.
We're good.
We also don't want casual players to feel like that they are being carried. I also would like casual members to understand if you're not the best player,
You're not gonna be
understand that you're not
carried.
the best player, and give it that little extra effort to try to be better. Try to, you don't have
Yeah.
to spend the 1,000 hours a week that some people are going on. You can play casually for a couple hours a week, and you can go at your own pace. We'll never push people to be playing better or harder than they want to.
Well, this goes back to the original thing we said. When applying to our guild or our community, when you go there and you apply, look at our community and make a judgment call whether it's good for you or not. That holds true to this as well. If you feel like you are so casual that you don't want the help from this person, you just want to play on your own, you don't want to be part of this community, you thought that being part of a community meant that whenever you had a problem or something, you could just, randomly type in guild chat to people that you don't know because you don't talk to them, that you don't play with them on a regular basis, and they'll just fucking answer your questions and carry you along, then maybe you're gonna be the kid that we fucking said would be like, okay? We are all about playing with one another. I have slowed down my own progression before so that I can help out multiple people in our guild. John has slowed down his progression before so that he can help out multiple people in the guild. Bruce has slowed down everything he's doing, stopped it to a fucking halt so that he can help out everyone in the guild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, on the other hand, he's kind of a bitch. So
I'm the slow guy that everybody needs to help.
He's the one that we have to boost up.
Yes.
to
he's
the
already
power level.
he's already slow. So
See, there's
he's
room
just-
for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, what I wanted to say was, we've been talking a lot about, the hardcore rating, the rating side of things, the stuff that takes a lot of commitment and stuff. But we, as the leaders and as the direction that we want to take the guild in our games that have guilds in them like Wildstar, we are committed to not just the hardcore side of things. We're committed to the casual side too. We want to
yeah.
support people in however they want to play it, and that's what we want to do. And Tristan asked, how do they coexist? I think they coexist because by having the infrastructure and the leadership in place that allows for that and doesn't allow bashing from one side to the other and doesn't allow elitism in the realm of saying, oh, you're better than me, or I'm better than you, or whatever. We want to have people in there that play however they want to play. And my cat is just being completely
I totally saw you as Inspector Gadget, the claw guy.
Yeah.
We will play how we
Except
want
for
to
it's a black cat.
play.
It's not a white cat here. Look. You mean like this? Yes, we will play together.
It looks like him too because it looks pissed, and that cat always looks
Yeah,
pissed.
he's not very happy right at the moment.
But I'm not gonna
Throw him
lie.
on the floor so the dog can chase him.
Healthy
in the past,
competition.
I've always been a little bit of an achievement whore, and there is
Little?
no
A
way
little?
I am
Little?
not going
Hold
to
on
be
a
that
second.
in
A
Wildstar.
little.
Let's just pull back for a little,
A little.
and in the past, as if this is not currently a thing.
History always repeats itself. Anyways,
History
So-
never stopped. It's
Yeah.
continuing. Like as we're talking, you're making history of being an achievement
You
whore.
didn't give up the whole achievement whore thing. It's like
I'm actually on
every
AltTab
day.
right now. I found
One
the newest
second
achievement.
ago,
I'm doing it as we speak.
You're an achievement whore. 1 second in the future, you're still an achievement whore, and currently you are an achievement whore.
He's got like 3 different games up right now, just earning achievements as he goes.
Actually, one of the first things I look at when I buy a game on Steam is how many achievements does this game have? Oh, only 15? Not worth it.
I don't know you. I don't
I don't
understand you.
understand you.
Anyways, I'm not gonna lie. I do have a habit of being a little bit braggy when it comes to an achievement, but I don't like being like, "Oh, I'm better than you." I hate that kind of mentality. But at the same time, it's like you also want to show off what you do.
Absolutely.
There's
There's
a
nothing wrong
difference
with
Healthy
between
competition.
yeah.
Yes.
There's a difference between showing off what you do and being proud of your commitments, and there's another side of it of I'm better than you. You suck. You're a terrible person. You go kill yourself. I mean, there's. I told you, I'm a little under the weather. I'm a little uncensored at the moment. I
So
apologize.
loopy. He needs a little drunk.
No, I wish.
No, so okay, so to really to like pull it together, the idea here is that we will never turn away the idea of healthy competition in the sense that we would love to pit the casuals against the hardcores or mix the hardcores into the casuals and then have those two people go at each other as learning experiences, as fun events, as let's say maybe it's a duel and we just do duels or we have PvP or we go out into the world and we make someone run around naked in a contested area and see how long they can last as they're hazing. You know what I mean? Like
That sounds fun, actually.
we've done this before, John.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
John has been naked like that before. I'm just saying. We do stuff like that and it's very difficult sometimes when you take the casual, let's have fun approach to a guild, and you try to explain that to someone, and then when they see you competing and getting really fucking like heated, not like fuck you, your mom kind of stuff, but like, you know, we gotta win. Come on, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, let's do this. Come on, you're left. No, that left. No, the other left. Oh fuck. You know what I mean? Like we get passionate about what we're doing, and if you didn't have that passion, I don't think you would fit in very well with our group. Because we're all very passionate people about what we do. But I think what people forget is that you can have fun and be passionate and progress at the same time. there isn't this like fine line of, oh well, since they're having a competition, I should just go over there because they're elitists and they're doing their thing, their thing. You know what I'm saying? They're doing
Well,
it.
there's a difference between being good and being proud of it and looking down on others for being different than what you're being.
Well, yeah.
And that's what we try to foster. We try to foster,
Sounds like racism.
yeah, the removal of the looking down or judging other people for what they've done compared to what you've done, and more of, hey, if you did something well, be proud of it.
I think we've hit this topic enough.
I think we've
Yeah.
nailed this
We've
bitch into the
covered a lot.
ground, man.
Yeah, we
Just like,
definitely.
Anyway, so if that sounds good to you, if you want to know more about that topic, there is a place to go to, AltTabMe.com. Go to the Wildstar forum. Go into the Wildstar forum and click on Wildstar tab, Manuals, Expectations, and Guidelines. Let me just read off the list real quick. Tab, Rating, the Basics, PvP server, and open world PvP guidelines,
Hint: we're gonna roll in a PvP server.
which we'll talk about in a second.
Hint.
We're going to talk about that in a second. Casual versus hardcore. How to coexist. Who would have thought we thought of this? No fucking way. Oh my god.
We just
PvP.
winged it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, totally winging everything here. PvP expectations for tab members. Warplot tab field manual, which John will go into in detail. This is why we didn't time this podcast, people. I'm sorry. You're in for a ride if you're interested to join this guild. Oh, you are fucked. PvE expectations for tab members. So it's all there. If you have questions, if you really don't want to listen to the rest of this podcast, you can go over there and read that stuff. Like if videos bother you, which they bother the shit out of me. I know I make a lot of videos, but I hate watching videos that explain things. I'd rather read it and like skip through it and shit. Oh man, you kids in your YouTube, I don't understand.
Then he wonders why he doesn't understand things because he skips over
hurts
everything.
my damn
Yeah.
back. I
Yeah.
don't even know. I'm gonna
He likes to read and skip over because he's got people like us to explain it when he gets
No,
access.
exactly.
I
Oh
don't get
God! How many times have we explained?
What are you
things to
talking
Tristan?
about?
I
No,
didn't read
back.
it. What does it mean?
Yeah, in
I
my
just read
day.
it, but I still don't get it. No, Tristan.
Hey, in my day, we didn't even have books. Shit, we didn't even have eyes. Oy. All right,
Well-
I'm gonna talk like this from now on.
Well, I do want to say one thing.
Go
Those
ahead.
posts that he just wrote off, I mean, those actually took me a solid week of editing and putting
Oh, yeah.
together.
It's a lot of work.
The
Oh my
group
God.
editing. Everyone edited everything. We all had
No.
something to say about everything.
But the
Oh.
core was me.
I just want you to know something. Our
Achievement
community, you're looking at 4 of the people that run our community. It's not just like one person who runs the community. It's fucking 5, 6 people. There's 2 that aren't here right now. Like
He's trying really hard to like sound Italian, and
We
it's
I feel
take
like
a-
you need
No,
a
he sounds like
walker
an
or
old Jew.
something, too.
We take
And
it
a cigar.
We take it seriously. What is wrong with this?
God,
Is
stop
something- Okay. It's actually really hard to go from that voice to normal voice because you still want to do it. Damn it.
Shut up.
Knock it off.
All right. So anyway, sorry. I just wanted everyone to know that like this is a group effort. We really do take into consideration what our community is pushing for, and then we all go and talk about it and make educated decisions based off that.
A lot. We talk about it a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our job. So don't worry about that. Just have a good time. But that's our job. Anyway, so why don't we talk about John? You want to talk about war plots? War plots, John, since we kind of talked about everything but
War
that.
plots? You want to talk about war plots?
War
You want to
plots?
talk about war plots, boy? You want to talk about war plots?
You want
I'm
it?
so excited about war plots.
Here's a
Warplot. Warplots in Wildstar are going to be basically your PvP endgame, your elder game, as they like to call it. We don't know too much. There's
John,
rumored
they
to
know
be-
what war plots is. What's the fucking rule
What?
of roll plots in tab? God damn it.
It's going to be serious. It's going to be serious strategic battles. I mean, I'm looking for people who know their class by the time they get to the max level. They know how to coexist with other classes and other roles, and hopefully we know how to break down in the squads and whatnot and take orders and give orders to their squad, because I'm going to want to have squad leaders. As we go around, we're going to have 40 people in there versus another group of 40 people. So it's going to be sort of organized chaos, but I'm hoping that as we level together, everybody gets to know each other, and whoever wants to PvP, does some open world PvP and battlegrounds as we go, and then when we get there, we can jump in there and just kind of go from there. But it's definitely going to be very strategic. I'm going to be looking at what the other clans do, or excuse me, what the other guilds and war parties do, and how they win and whatnot. And we're going to be developing our own strategies, which we're obviously not going to talk about in public, but it's definitely gonna be a lot of strategy, and it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, is the important part.
Yeah, so give a little background, because we all heard you slip and say clans. There's a reason John slipped and said clans. John has played a lot of what kind of games, John?
A lot of first-person shooters.
There
a
we
lot
go.
of them.
So he's coming from like PlanetSide 2. He's coming from PlanetSide 1. All the Call of Duties. Not the really not like the oh my god kitty ones.
Old ones.
Like the old ones. Like,
Battlefield 1942, that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Definitely.
where it took strategy and it took teamwork. So that's why John is our war plot fucking leader. Like that's your guy right there. There he is.
He's our PvP focused head of security kind of.
This is why John sits in the background of most of our podcasts and says very little. He's strategizing how he's going to single-handedly destroy every bad comment on YouTube. He's like, fuck, he just said that. Oh, he's going to get these comments and these comments. This is
Exactly.
bad. We could flank them before they do it. Before they even get to the YouTube, we can get them. But no, Warplots is going to be a lot of fun. And that's where progression is important too, because they said that the PvE players are going to be able to contribute to the PvP and hopefully vice versa. We don't know about that part though yet. But the idea is that, like we said, we need to have a sense of understanding, a sense of growth. We do allow people into our guild that are, really just want to take their time and just want to level up and smell the roses and stuff like that. But understand that for things like war plots and raiding, you're going to get left behind. And it's not anything against you. It's not us being like, fuck you. It's us letting you play your game and enjoy the benefits of our group events, our community, and everything that goes with that. But when it comes to the raiding and when it comes to the war plots, the things that take a lot of effort and people are going to be very serious about because it takes time and a commitment, we are looking for people that are willing to put in that time and commitment as well. If you don't have that time and commitment, then you don't have it. But you have to make that decision. You can't blame us because you don't have that time. And you can't blame us because you aren't willing to learn and get better, because we will have people to help you get better. We'll have class leads and stuff like that. Speaking of which, for all the guildies and shit like that are watching this, if you think you're a good class lead, if you think you're a good, officer for specific types of duties and stuff like that, and I'm sure we'll have a list, I'm sure we'll have a list for like a lot of that stuff, hit us up. We're looking for those people now. We're looking for people that can step up to the plate.
Work in progress.
It's a work in progress, and we're definitely all for it. The whole reason we're making this, by the way, is because we realized after a couple podcasts that for some reason people didn't understand that we also had guilds, which I guess is good. We're not trying to make a podcast that is a guild recruitment. We're just trying to make some podcasts. But I just figured some people would like stop by AltTab and be like, I watched your podcast and I was hoping that you would tell me if you had a guild. But they didn't. They just posted random comments on YouTube and were like, guild what? I was like, what does that mean? I don't know how to answer you. So we were like, fuck it. Let's just do a fucking guild podcast.
I'm so tired.
So what kind of a server are we going to roll on then? We are going to be rolling on a PvP server. There is a big chance, a very big chance, that we roll on, if they offer it to us and we gauge it properly beforehand, an RPPvP server. Now, let me explain this, because I know that like three or four of you were just like about to fucking close the window. Let me explain, if you haven't closed the window already. If you have, then you're not hearing this, so therefore I can talk about your mother and how. Oh, never mind. Okay. Anyway, the idea here is that when the reason we would pick an RPPvP server is because on RPPvP servers, people are generally nicer. They still are competitive. They still like the PvP. You still get open world PvP. but you have a lot less corpse camping. What the fuck did I just say?
Corpse camping?
That's like jackhole.
Corpse
Yes,
campsing.
you have a lot less corpse camping. A lot less of it. Don't. Corpse camping. I sound like a Muppet or something. I don't know. Anyway, you have a lot less corpse
Can you do the Swedish chef?
camping. Corpse camping. You also get a much more rich environment of immersion. When you're walking through a town, you will randomly run across people that are RPing. And while you don't have to talk to them and you don't have to interact with them, and like Bruce, who when we first mentioned this was like, I'm not standing in the line to get to the bank.
I'm gonna regret that statement forever.
You don't have to do that. But
I'm sorry, I don't want. But the only
But
thing I
in
don't
general-
like about it is I don't want to ruin someone else's immersion.
No, exactly.
By me
But
not
in
participating.
general, what happens is that you get a more contained general chat. It's not all this like, this game is like WoW, or it's not like WoW, or like I'm playing WoW while playing this. What now, bitches? Like it's not like that. It's people talking in character, out of character, whatever. You don't have to completely talk in character all the time. You can just talk however you want. But it's generally a nicer crowd of people, and it's more immersive. So that's one of the reasons that we were thinking of doing that. We haven't made that decision yet. We really before Guild Wars 2 came out, we gauged all the different servers. Like we looked if they give us a list. By the way, we don't know if they'll give us a list, so we might just have to shoot. But usually communities talk about what server they're going to roll on beforehand. So we're going to look at what communities go. For instance, the older gamers, they're a really good group of people. Where they roll, we would probably look into that as well because we like them. And when you're on the same server as them, they're a big group of people and they're, they wear off on people. You know what I mean? You're going to run into them a lot. So that's nice.
And they're a large part of the server. You're going to be more involved in the server.
Exactly. And we want our server to be active. We don't want to be on a server that's like, last on the PvP ranks, stuff like that. We want to be at least middle ground when it comes to competitiveness and middle ground when it comes to progression.
Minimum level middle ground.
Yeah. So I mean we've even pushed to, in Guild Wars 2 we went high pop, which is completely fine too. Although it turned out in Guild Wars 2 that high pop, low pop, or middle pop, or no pop, it didn't really matter because there was nothing to do at the end.
Oh, great.
Exactly.
Anyway, so that's what we're doing. If you're afraid of open PvP, like if you're one of those people that are like, but I don't want to get ganked and I don't want to get attacked and oh god, that's why you're in a guild. In the guild, you listen to guild chat or mumble, and if you're getting attacked and you're not in a group, which by the way you should probably roll in a group because we like to roll together and it benefits everybody. But if you're not in a group and you happen to just log on and you're like, oh man, I'm getting corpse camped. Guild chat. Corpse camped at location. Please help. Guild. Okay, on my way with my level 500. Okay? I mean, it's like, and I don't know. For us, we have war stories. There's just an atmosphere on any open world PvP server that you can't get on a PvE server. The battles and the shenanigans that ensue from just open world PvP are incredible, and you'll have so many fun stories to talk about. Even if it's you getting killed over and over again, if you go into it with the right attitude, I swear to God, you're going to come out fucking laughing, and you're going to be like, that was so fucking cool. Oh my God.
Or so fucking terrible, and I'm ashamed, and I'm laughing.
Yeah, but
Well,
you're
it's on a PvP server. The organic stuff that happens out in the world is just so much more entertaining and fun, and a lot of it kind of adds to that little fear of, oh, I'm in an area where there could be higher players, like Strangle Gank was, and
I've never heard it said that
you've
way.
always got that little bit of anxiety, that little bit of looking over your shoulder the whole time that you just don't get on a PvE server. And
Yep.
a lot of us really, really like that. And like Tristan said, it promotes bringing people together because then you want to roll in a group or you want to call in friends. And that's what we're all about. We're about being on Mumble together and playing, being in groups together and playing. And with Wildstar, and the pass system, it's going to be really, really beneficial to roll around with other people, because if you've got multiple paths in your group, you can unlock everything. You can do all the holdouts, do the explorer stuff. Settlers can get you motorbikes, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Let's roll around on our bikes, guys. We're the bike gang.
The bunny bike gang in Tristan's.
Yes. Oh, by the way, we're Exiles.
Yay!
I forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
We've
so
decided.
those of you who've been watching for the last hour and a half to find out the one thing, there's a 5-second snippet. By the way, we're Exiles.
We're
God,
Exiles.
that was so like unenthusiastic. Oh yeah, we're exiles.
No, we decided to pick Exiles because we wanted to be the underdogs, and we feel like they are the underdogs in lore, and also, I really do feel speculating that I really feel like more people are going to pick Dominion because they think it's the Horde, but the problem is that the Horde, the reason the Horde is what the Horde is because when you first played the Horde, they were the underdogs. The problem is if everybody goes to the Dominion because they're like, oh my god, that's like the Horde, you are immediately on what feels like the Alliance.
Exactly.
Not to mention, in lore, the Dominion are just like the Alliance. Little bitchy little girls. So, I'm just saying. Nothing wrong with a bitchy little girl, by the way. Just saying, though.
What?
Anyway, so that's what we decided to go. We decided to go Exiles, and I think then that's it. So, bunny
Yeah.
people or
And if you
rock
want to
people.
see, more of our opinions on what the Exiles and Dominions are like, we did release our Exiles podcast as far as timing of making this podcast, and I believe the Dominion one's probably coming out either soon or next or whatever.
Or it already
So-
came out. We don't know because
could've-
we're
yeah, it
recording
depends
this.
on when
and
we release
haven't
this.
released the Dominion one yet at time of recording this, but who the hell knows?
It's
We
on
might.
twisted time.
We don't know yet because this one is one of those like filler podcasts where this isn't going to be like a main podcast, or maybe it
Yeah.
will be.
Dun dun dun.
But either
Oh,
way,
We
we
won't know
podcast.
until after we've already decided to release it.
true. So we're talking to you from the future.
Oh my god.
Wait,
It would be from the past, though.
we're talking to you.
Shut
We're
up,
talking
Bruce.
to future
We're
you.
talking to you from the past. That is the truth.
We are truth, yo.
God, I'm so tired.
So
Oh.
Just go to
anyway,
sleep.
if I don't know, like, did we cover everything?
You know what? The one thing I really do want to cover that we kind of hinted at is we do a lot of events
Oh yes.
yeah.
guild that are not part of the structure of the game. So it's not like
Hide and seek.
events. Yeah, we don't say, okay, our event is a dungeon. Anybody can go do a dungeon. We do stuff like the 50
Hide and seek.
char mesmer get together where we just all rolled the same looking type thing, and there's a great video of it.
YouTube.
We do things
50
like
plus char mesmer diving board.
Yep.
Done.
Bam.
We
Hide and
do
Hide and seek.
We do hide and seek because Bruce wants it to be said.
Yes.
It's a
hide
lot of
and seek,
fun.
yeah.
It was one of the
was-
most fun.
yeah.
It was one of the most fun events we did. It was basically we went into a major town. We had 20 people. One person was it, and the rest of us went and hid our characters as best we could. There was one rule: half of your character had to be showing, and then the other person had to turn off their UI and nameplates, and they had to find all the people. It was, oh my god, it was a blast.
It was probably like we did it for a good 4+ hours, and then
Yeah.
we immediately had to schedule another one for the week after because so many people had so much fun.
Yep. Double
We-
jump will make it a lot of fun too because you can just find amazing places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It definitely
Yeah.
it made you really explore Guild Wars too because we only took like a subsector of this tiny part of its town, and we knew
Mhm.
every nook and cranny of that little area by the time we were done.
And
It
how
was
to
great.
get to all the roofs and all the little places. Yeah.
Which never helped us because there was no end game.
Yeah.
We made our own end game.
We did.
No, we
That's
did.
right.
We had to.
Yeah.
We had
But
to.
we've also, like Tristan's done some machinima, and we've done stuff like that. We also did a great thing in Guild Wars where we had one person who
That's it.
who
That's
had
all I got for that. That was it. Tristan's done some machinima. Moving on.
whatever.
You can do your
many
own
hours do we work
podcast
on
by
that?
yourself about your machinima.
That's right. No, he spent a lot of time.
No, go ahead. Go. I don't
Doing
need
that.
your attention.
You fine. You can take all the pity I'm gonna give you. You cried about it. I'm gonna talk about it. How's that?
I don't know. You just did this thing.
I'm so
I was
sorry.
proud of you. I was proud of you.
No, the other. Fine. I'll go on. I won't talk.
Yeah,
about
move
your
on. I don't want to fucking talk about machinima.
So we
Fuck
did
you.
The other thing I was gonna
Machinima.
say is we did a thing where we had a tour guide take a whole bunch of people through every little nook and cranny of a city that had like in Guild Wars there were vistas and there were all kinds of points, and if you wanted 100% the city with all the waypoints, it was kind of hard. But we got together and we did this whole tour guide thing where he actually acted like a tour guide. And
I was not there for that one, and I am kind of glad.
No, it was really fun. It
was good though.
it was for the immersion. It was also it was okay. I have a thing against general chat. I think general chat absolutely fucking destroys the idea of going anywhere in the world, because why would you do that when you can just talk anywhere in the world to anybody in the world? So, I made it so that when we got to the town, you had to turn off your general chat and your UI and just talk in /say. And everybody did that. We logged off Mumble. You weren't allowed to use voice chat. And we just talked. And it was so funny because everybody was like really nervous about it in the beginning, and they didn't want to do it. And they were like, I don't know, this is weird. I'm not an RPer. And I'm like, we're just going to be talking. I'm going to be talking about what we see. I'm going to explain like what the world is about. And we're going to listen to the NPCs and their interactions, because there were so many cool interactions in Guild Wars 2. And so we did that. We walked around the town. We would stop and we saw like a really cool thing playing out. It was literally like going to a Broadway show that was acting out around you and being able to talk during it. So we brought that back for a little bit, and it was really funny because all these people that were like, I don't know. The minute I went on Mumble and I was like, all right, does anybody want to take a break? They were like, shh. So it really was fun, and you really get into it. It immerses you. So we'll do stuff like that. We come up with cool ideas. Bruce did a scavenger hunt where he would take a picture of a tiny little section of what he could see, and then you would, with his character in it, and you'd have to find where he was, and then if you found that, you get a prize.
I am amazed how quickly some people found those too. I thought I was picking like the most obscure place in like the most cornerest region of the world in like half an hour. Oh, I already got it. It's like, what? It took me
have
3
anything
hours
else?
to find the fucking spot originally. How the hell?
We didn't have anything else
It's
to do at
tough.
endgame, so of course everybody knew every inch of the map.
I'm telling you, some people just know their. Anyways, we also did. We had all the jumping puzzles. We actually scheduled some jumping puzzle races,
Mm-hmm.
and we actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had the
Those are a lot of
races,
fun.
So
That
we don't.
and we wagered on them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and yeah, we did bet on people.
We will
too.
use game mechanics. Like, I mean, the housing system itself. Oh my God, the events that I have planned. So this is why, like, so technically, like, so we go. Obviously, someone has to be called guild leader, but we don't play by that fucking game. And I don't care what you all think about it. Like, we don't play that game. We're all on the same level of officer status or in charge or whatever the fuck you want to say. But we're the ones that are running the guild together. The idea is that we play off of our strengths. So Bruce is very good at organizing the raids. So he's going to be the raid leader. John is awesome at the PvP and strategy shit and big, large-scale war. So he's going to be doing the war plots. Tig is more casual. So he's going to be doing like the off-time raids or the 20-mans or the dungeons, just the regular dungeons. And I like to do events and run big group, get everybody scheduled together and work together and just have a blast using the game in different ways. So I'll probably be doing house parties and DJ events and like just crazy shit
Quagantonics.
What?
Quagantonics.
Quagantonics, yeah, like, we just do crazy fun stuff. So, but we play off all of our strengths and we work together to make those things happen so that none of us is, taking on too much of a load where we're no longer, getting time to play the game or enjoy it as well. So it's a nice balance, I think. But we're always looking for people to step up and help us. And as a community that really does sustain itself, we do look to other people to, when we don't have an event to run, if they have an idea, we will give you anything in our resource, like in our guild bank, in our ability on our website, anything that's a resource that we can provide to you to help make your event better, we'll do that. And we will support it as long as you have put the time and effort into making something that you want to run. So that's one thing that's really important about our community, is that we really look to our players and our community to participate and not just sit on the sidelines all the time. You can, that's fine. But if you want to step up, we really do encourage it, and we will give you everything in our power to make it happen. So
Yeah, and not only in an MMO, we're doing a lot of stuff right now that we would consider events. Like, we're doing stuff, we're playing games together, we're doing free-to-play Saturdays
Oh yeah.
at times where we
I was
we
running
just
those.
Bruce is like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we are doing those. Forgot.
where we're getting together and just playing free-to-play games. So everybody that wants to come join in and play with us while there isn't an MMO to play right now can do that. We're me and Bruce and a couple other people right now are in a D&D thing where we get together online and play actual tabletop D&D. And
Without a
we've got
table.
forum games like the Resistance and
Zombie RP.
RP,
Zombie RP. And we've got a lot of stuff going on right now that it's worthwhile coming by the site. And it's just going to get better once we have an MMO for everybody to be in together.
And there's just
we play Smite, we play Minecraft.
There's just
Food
so many
World.
different views. There's so many different likes. There's so many different things that we all like to do, will do, and all that stuff. And since we're all so diverse in what that is, and we're all your community leaders, I feel like it's a good balance for you guys, because you get a whole different slew of shit instead of just like joining, you know, #1 rating guild in America, and therefore you're stuck doing that, and that's it. You at least get to like really, because I really feel like MMOs are there to do a lot more than just one aspect of it. I really feel like there's so much more to be seen from them. Plus, if we do a machinima, you get to be in the machinima, and it's a lot of
That's right.
fun. John did a machinima with me, and why do I point over there? You're over here. But John was in a machinima with me, and I swear to God, what it was like 3 hours. We pulled that out of our asses.
But we had everything planned. You had
Yep.
the storyboards, and we had the shots down. Everything was great. And I can tell you right now, we will definitely be doing machinima in Wildstar, because I want to do some myself.
Yep.
So
And it looks-
I'm looking
it looks-
forward to
And
it.
because it has first-person view.
Well, it also looks to be that they're going to be giving us some pretty cool tools, or they
And
want
there's
to.
also a day-night cycle too, so you can way more expansive with that alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And first person was the big one, though.
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2 had a day-night cycle.
Did it?
Yeah.
It did, but it
I don't remember it
was
at all.
really off kilter. And
Yeah,
then we
no,
didn't
it
have
was-
first person. That was the big thing. We didn't have the first person view. It
No.
was a pain in the ass.
Go watch I Surrender for Guild Wars 2. It was a remake of my first WoW machinima ever, and we didn't have first person view. You go watch that, and you tell me if you thought we had first person view or not. That was hard.
Yeah, it
That
was.
was hard, but it was fun. It was
Good
a lot of
times.
fun. That's why I like machinimas, because it really pushes the boundaries of limitations that a game puts forward in front of you, and you have to overcome them, and you have to organize, you know, groups of people to make really cool shit happen. So like we could go into a battleground or an arena, and all of a sudden we're acting out a battleground or arena. Like, it's just awesome, and it's a lot of fun, and you have a lot of memories from that. And so we're going to definitely be doing that. Absolutely, 100%. So anyway, I don't know what else the fuck to cover here. I'm pretty sure
All
we
right.
covered a lot here.
I got one
Mike
last
keeps
thing
having
to
more
say.
stuff though.
Go
I do.
fuck.
I got one last thing.
Damn, Mike.
For me,
No.
my first real big experience in WoW was I had a great guild. I searched hard to find a guild that I thought I would be a part of. And it turns out that the guild was great. It was amazing. And I made a lot of great friends and I had a lot of great experiences. But when the guild died, all that went away. This community is what I had there, but it's not tied and dependent on a game.
Yes.
And that's why we're saying it Outlast release dates, because we're still going to have that if there's a game or not. And
Yes.
I think that's what we're really kind of trying to get the point across here is.
Yeah, and it's important that there are certain requirements that go along with that. You have to be active on the forums. Even when the game releases, you're still going to have to be active on the forums, because that's how we get our information out to you guys. We have LFG fucking systems. We have event systems. We have We have announcement systems. We have just all these ways to communicate with you that may or may not be in the game, but even if they aren't, I mean, you'll have them at AltTabMe. So that's a positive thing. As well, we're hoping that if there's add-ons or there's things that can be incorporated into the site, we will incorporate them. So we're always iterating. So come be part of the iteration. That sounded nice, right? Bruce, what's going on? You falling asleep, Bruce? Wake up, Bruce. Wake up.
I'm zoning a little.
Wake up, Bruce.
Whack.
So I think that's good enough. That's probably the longest podcast we've done in a fucking ton of months. That's way more information than I think anybody can absorb in one sitting. So come to AltTabMe.com. Check it out if you're interested in Wildstar. We absolutely have a guild going up in Wildstar. Join Tab. Remember, take your time. Take your time. I can't stress it enough. Take your time or your application will just be denied. If it's a great application and you still haven't participated, we're going to deny it with the possibility of reapplying. John says one thing and it's to correct me. Thanks, John. You dick. I think that was the direction you are. Let me see. Yeah, I totally just stared you off. What's up? Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been an AltTabMe.com Guildcast. Hey, it's a Guildcast. Come join us. We'd love to see you. We need people, obviously, because we need 40-man raids. We need to
40-man
bolster.
war plots.
40-man war plots. So
Everything.
we are doing.
All the things.
I don't even have. This is great. This is like we just go around and we talk. But seriously, we are doing everything in this game, and we plan on doing everything. And we are not going to die if this game dies. So if you need a home, if you would like a place to stay, if you want a really fun place to be, if you want Bruce to fall asleep during your podcast, then come.
I'm never like this, guys. I'm sorry.
No, he's a little sick today, so don't. Yeah. He's a little under the weather. He's a trooper for being here. But we need him here. He's without the beard, this is not a Guildcast.
Beard power.
So just understand, as I give myself a mammogram, that Why does he laugh at that? Why does he laugh at that? Why does that wake him up?
You woke him up. He's alive. Miracle.
I heard mammogram and I just see this. And it just got me going.
So we like to joke around, we like to have fun, but we also like to respect one another. There are definitely some strong beliefs that we have and some guidelines that we have for our community that makes it so that we respect one another, we treat each other with respect, and we're not just that gaming community that is just going to throw around, anything and everything to be mean or to flex our e-peen. Read about it. Go to AltTabMe.com. There's a ton of information about it. If we haven't covered it here, ask us on YouTube, ask us at Twitter at AltTabMe, or ask us at AltTabMe.com. We are all available. You can private message any of us. That one guy, Zacchus, Guyewin, and Triage with a 1. Feel free to hit us up, and we will be happy to answer all and any of your questions. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we will see you together in Wildstar.
I need a poo and a nap.